Good day, everyone. Welcome to my channel. And by the way, I am Lord Cedric M. Magimot, but you can call me Sir Ced. So, welcome to Let's Review. Okay? And now, we're going to focus in English for specific purposes. Let's proceed. Now, the question number one is, what is the main goal of English for specific purposes or ESP? Again, what is the main goal of English for specific purposes or ESP? Is it letter A, to teach English through songs and poems? B, to help learners use English in specific jobs or fields? C, to improve basic grammar only? D, to focus on English for travel and leisure? Again, is it A, to teach English through songs and poems? B, to help learners use English in specific jobs or fields? C, to improve basic grammar only? Or D, to focus on English for travel and leisure? You have 10 seconds to answer. Okay, the correct answer is B, to help learners use English in specific jobs or fields. ESP is all about teaching English that is needed for certain careers or areas like medicine, engineering, or business. Why the others are wrong? Because A, songs and poems are more for general or literary English, while C, grammar is important, but ESP is not just about grammar. It's about using English in real situation. And D, travel English is useful, but ESP is more job or subject specific like English for nurses or pilots. Okay? Are we clear with that? Okay, let's proceed. Question number two. Which of the following is a common complementary approach to ESP? Again, which of the following is a common complementary approach to ESP? Is it A, grammar translation method? B, task-based language teaching or TBLT? C, English medium instruction or EMI? Or D, content-based instruction or CBI? You have 10 seconds to answer. The correct answer is B, task-based language teaching or TBLT. Because TBLT supports ESP because they are both focused on real tasks or real-world use of English. Okay? Why the others are wrong? Because A, grammar translation focuses on rules and translation which is outdated for ESP needs. While C, EMI uses English to teach content but often lacks focus on language skills. And D, CBI is a strong method but is often seen as a competitor to ESP, not a helper. Okay? Next. Number 3. What is a challenge in defining ESP using Stevens' absolute and variable characteristics? Again, what is a challenge in defining ESP using Stevens' absolute and variable characteristic? Is it A, ESP is only for advanced learners? B, the line between ESP and general English can be unclear? Or C, ESP doesn't use any real life tasks? Or D, ESP never changes for different students? The correct answer is B. The line between ESP and general English can be unclear because ESP sometimes still includes general English skills. People get confused about where one ends and the other begins. Okay, why the others are wrong? Because A or ESP can be for beginners too, not just advanced students. While C, ESP often use real life tasks. This is one of its strengths. Okay, well, the ESP is actually very flexible. It does change for different learners. Okay. Number 4. What does the variable characteristic of ESP mean? Again, number 4. What does the variable characteristic of ESP mean? Is it letter A, ESP is always the same in every country? B, ESP can be adapted depending on learners' needs and level? C, ESP ignores listening and speaking skills? Or D, ESP teaches general vocabulary only? Again, is it letter A, ESP is always the same in every country? B, ESP can be adapted depending on learners' needs and level? C, ESP ignores listening and speaking skills? Or D, ESP teaches general vocabulary only? Okay, you have timer start now. The correct answer is C. ESP can be adapted depending on learners' needs and level. That's the meaning of variable. It can change based on the learners, their job, and their English level. Why the others are wrong? Because ESP changes across countries and learners. ESP includes all language skills including listening and speaking. And last, ESP focuses on specific vocabulary, not general. Next. Number 5. Why is English medium instruction or EMI often seen as a competitor of ESP? Again, why is English medium instruction often seen as a competitor of ESP? Is it letter A, it focuses only on reading and writing? B, it uses a native language to teach English? C, it focuses on teaching content in English without direct focus on language learning? Or D, it teaches grammar through memorization? Time's up. The correct answer is C. It focuses on teaching content in English without direct focus on language learning. EMI is about teaching subjects like science or math in English, not necessarily improving English skills. Why the others are wrong? Because A or EMI includes all skills but not always with language learning goals. Okay, while EMI actually uses English, not the native language. D, or that describes the grammar translation method, not EMI. Okay, next. Which of the following is correct in APA 7th edition in text citation for a book by one author? Again, which of the following is correct in APA 7th edition in text citation for a book by one author? Is it letter A, open and close parenthesis, Smith, 2020? B, open and close parenthesis, Smith, J. 2020? C, open and close parenthesis, Smith, 2020? Or D, open and close parenthesis, Smith, 2020? The correct answer is letter A, open and close parenthesis, Smith, 2020. So, APA in text citation use the author's last name and year in parentheses. Why the others are wrong? Because B, initials are not used in text citation. In letter C, missing comma. And in D, APA does not use colons in this format. Next. Number 7. In MLA format, how is the author's name listed in the works cited page? In MLA format, how is the author's name listed in the works cited page? Is it letter A, first name first, B, full name without punctuation, C, last name first followed by first name, or D, only initials? You may start. The correct answer is C. Last name first followed by first name. MLA lists authors like this, like Smith, comma, John, period. Okay? Why are the others are wrong? Because in letter A, first name first is not the MLA way. Letter B, MLA uses commas and periods. And D, initials are not typically used in MLA. Okay? Next. Number 8. What is the main purpose of conducting a needs analysis in ESP? Again, what is the main purpose of conducting a needs analysis in ASP? Is it letter A, to choose a random textbook for learners? B, to understand what English skills the learners need to their goals? C, to teach grammar rules in general way? Or D, to make the syllabus the same for all learners? Should we start? Time's up. The correct answer is letter D. Because the heart of ESP is teaching what learners specifically need, not general English. Why others are wrong? Because choosing a random textbook ignores the specific needs of learner. While the general grammar is for general English, not for ESP. And last, ESP is not one size fits all. Each group may need a different syllabus. Okay? Next. Number 9. Which of the following is usually used during a needs analysis? Again, which of the following is usually used during a needs analysis? Is it A, random guessing, B, learners' hobbies, C, interviews and questionnaires, or D, memorization drills? The correct answer is letter C. Interviews and questionnaires help teacher find out what learners need English for in real life. Why others are wrong? Because A, ESP decision should be based on data, not guessing. While B, habits can be part of general English, not specific for to ESP. And D, drills may help with language form but not with discovering needs. Okay, last one. Number 10, we should be involved in the needs analysis process. Again, we should be involved in the needs analysis process. Is it A, only the teacher, B, the school principal, C, the learners and sometimes their employers or instructors, or D, the textbook authors? Time's up. The correct answer is letter A, because learners know what they need, and in some cases, the employer or school staff knows the context too. Why others are wrong? Because the teacher alone might miss important learners' needs. The principal may not know the needs of learners. Or last, textbook authors are not directly involved with the specific learners. So with that, thank you so much.